What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about changing your propane regulator, so stay tuned. So the reason I've got to change our propane regulator on our fifth wheel, this propane regulator has an indicator. You can see red when it's empty, green when your propane's full. Ours has malfunctioned. It just stays red all the time, whether it's full or empty. And that's an indication there's an issue with it. So I want to go ahead and get this thing switched out. It's not leaking or anything, but with this not working, I'm not 100% sure if the auto changeover feature is going to work the way it's supposed to, so I'm going to swap this thing out and won't have to worry about it anymore. Talking about that auto changeover feature, something that some of you may not realize, this style regulator is an auto changeover regulator, and what that means is when this is mounted up on the wall, whichever side your little black lever is pointed to, that's the side that it's going to pull propane from. However, when the propane in this tank runs out, it will automatically, as long as your other tank is open, it will automatically start pulling from your other tank. Now your indicator is going to stay red, showing that the tank this is pointing to is empty. So when you flip it, it'll automatically switch back to green, and you'll know that tank's full. You can refill the empty one. When you install it, turn it on, and same thing. When this tank gets empty, indicator will go to red, but it will still pull from the full tank, so that you don't have to get up like I did in the middle of the night when you're camping in South Dakota in the snow and go out and switch the valve and turn your propane on. So this style is an auto changeover, so make sure both your tanks are on and you'll be in good shape. So this shouldn't be a very difficult project. I've already got the propane shut off on the other side, so went ahead and shut this propane off. We're going to start by removing this propane tank. So now that's going to give us a lot of access, plenty of access to get in here, unhook our lines, and then take this regulator off the wall. Alright, so your small lines are going to be 1/2-inch connections. So we're going to take those off first. It's going to bleed a little bit of propane off, but that's alright. So all I'm doing here is grabbing our metal crimp just to kind of hold that so our hose doesn't want to twist. I'm not really squeezing it hard. I don't want to damage the hose. I'm just holding it so that it doesn't try to twist on us. So now we're just going to take off our bottom main feed hose. Alright, got all our lines disconnected. Now we're just going to pull these 4 screws out on this little bracket, and we'll be able to take that regulator all the way out. There you go. Now we got our regulator out. Now we can pull the screws out of the back of it and put our new regulator back on the bracket. You can see our old regulator has a 90-degree elbow coming out right here, a 90-degree fitting. The new one does not have that. Now I could pull that out and change this, but what I'm going to do instead, I'm just going to move this regulator over just a little bit when I remount it in there. Just all I need is like a 1/2 inch, and then I can just put this hose right straight in here and not have to have that 90 degree coming out. And then I've also got to change over our main fitting out of the bottom and put that one in here. So the other thing you're going to need is some pipe thread tape. Make sure you get the kind that is rated for gas lines. So I picked this up at Lowe's, and it's rated to use on gas, air, propane lines. So I'm going to go ahead and put this line back on. That way I can adjust this when I mount it. I can adjust this over so I have clearance for this hose. Now the only spot you'll need the thread tape, the thread sealant, is on your bottom main outlet. You're not going to use any inside here because these are flared fittings. So when you tighten it up, it's going to make your seal for you. Make sure that's going to reach. It is. Okay. Just going to attach our main feed hose, put the tanks back in, turn the propane on, and check for leaks. Move that over just a little bit. Has plenty of room for this hose to fit in there where it needs to go. So right now I've got it aimed toward my other tank on the other side, which is the one we are currently using. So I'm going to go turn that one on. And you see we immediately switched to green. So we should be good to go. I'm going to go ahead and turn this tank on so we can check everything for leaks. So I've got a little soapy mixture here. I'm just going to kind of spray it on all our fittings. So what we're looking for is just any bubbles at all around any of the fittings. I don't see any on there, so I think we're going to be good to go. So now what we need to do is go inside and start the stove so we can bleed any air out of this line and get the propane flowing back to the inside. Alright, so now we're going to try to start this burner. Turn it on. We'll go ahead and let that run. Turn it up on high. Start the back one. Look one more time. Make sure I don't see any bubbles, any leaks. I mean, you can see this one is stuck. And that's where it's been stuck for quite a while. So, I mean, this doesn't even feel, this is all loose, and so this thing was definitely shot, definitely time to replace it. But you can see it's not hard to do. It's one of those things that you shouldn't be afraid to tackle yourself, because it's going to save you a ton of time versus having to make an appointment, get into the dealer just to do what we did here, you know, in 20 minutes. So, super easy thing to do yourself. Don't be scared to tackle some of this stuff. It'll save you a lot of time and a lot of money. We appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you guys down the road.